Ha 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 ha. Hey guys, so this feels weirdly like natural, but also kind of awkward. I guess this is the first episode of the podcast. This could be the only episode. This might this might not even end up being an episode, which is crazy. um I randomly had the idea, which is kind of hilarious because the name of this podcast is a random thought I had. I randomly had the idea last night while I was driving in my car, coming back from the supermarket, and I was like, bro, like, I always tell my viewers, I always tell the little bit of people who follow me, especially the people that are like close to me, because I get to know people as I obviously get bigger and I just continue with the whole gaming videos, live stream, whatever the fuck I do. I always tell them, I'm like, I would love to just end up with a podcast. I always say that I idolize Joe Rogan and a lot of, I would say a good, I don't know, maybe like 75% of the content that I actually watch isn't even in the industry that I make content for. Now, listen, I love gaming. I love what I do. I love my organization. I love my friends who do gaming content. But I would say what captivates me and what kind of keeps me on my toes and what gets me out of my box, if that makes any sense. That kind of sounds weird. I would say is podcasts. I watch a podcast named Painkiller already. You guys probably have no idea what that is because it's not that it's not a relevant like podcast. It's just a very specific subset of people know that podcast. And I also watch Joe Rogan Experience. I also watch Gary V Audio Experience. A lot of experiences happening. So I'm like, hey, anytime I've ever seen a type of content that I'm like, wow, I really fuck with that, instantly my brain goes to, wow, well, I guess now it's my turn, because now it's my turn to try it. And I don't even know why my brain is like that. I feel like it's like low-key an ego thing. Low-key, I just like hearing myself talk. And I don't know, I get into these random tangents while I'm doing live streams where it almost feels like a podcast. It almost feels like I go on these super long tangents. I see my viewer numbers kind of decrease when I do this, but I get this weird satisfaction out of just talking. Just talking and talking and talking and just letting out what's on my mind. And I mean, that's why I go to therapy. I feel like my therapist kind of hates me because I just talk and talk and talk and talk and it's about nothing. And that's how I am as a person. I'm sure a lot of my friends would tell you, like, if they hang out with me a lot and they see me, especially if I'm in my zone, it's not a lot of times that my friends actually see me creating or my friends actually see me doing anything like making videos. Or if I'm in my room, do you know how rare it is to have one of my friends in there? It's incredibly rare. But if you ask some of my friends that have kind of seen the whole story arc of me creating content and just, I don't know, doing my thing, I talk to myself, I gesture to different things, and I'm weird. I'm weird as fuck. And I just talk and I talk and I talk, and even what I'm doing here now, like this is so natural. Kind of got lost there for a second. Oh yes, so the reason for this podcast, I was driving and I thought like, hey, I like talking and I've always wanted to do a podcast. I've launched a few podcasts and they've all failed because I think it's because they rely on other people. I started a podcast with my friend Tim, and if Tim listens to this, he might feel a certain type of way about this. Whatever, I love you, Tim. I feel like I make better content by myself. And that sucks. Do you know how much that sucks in 2019? I make gaming content. You know how much easier it would be to make content if I got me and 3 of my other friends into a Discord call and then we just played video games and got funny moments, highlights. You know how easy that content would make itself. It would be a well-oiled machine. But there's something about just sitting in front of this microphone and talking and saying words that feels infinitely better than that. So now I'm here. This podcast is called A Random Thought I Had. I think that's what I'm going to call it. A podcast by Matt Cozy. If you guys didn't know, my name is Matt. It's my first name. Matt Cozy. I almost never go by Matt. But I felt like my podcast alias, it has to be different than just Cozy. Are you going to listen to somebody named Cozy talk for like 15 minutes? No, you're not. First of all, you're not going to take him seriously. It's hilarious that I'm even going to try to be taken seriously here. Second of all, I don't know. It's a short name. Name one podcast by somebody who just has one name. The Monday Morning Podcast, Bill Burr. That's 2 syllables. Joe Rogan. That's 3 syllables. I'm clearly trying to replicate everything that I'm a student of the game, okay? I take in the content, and I love emulating other people. I'd like to think that I have my own flavor. I like to think that I have an awkward charm about me. But it may just be an awkward bumbliness that makes me come off really weird. I don't know yet. When I meet new people, it seems that I'm quite weird to them. But that's fine. That's totally cool. So, kind of like the format of this podcast is I'm just going to come into it and eventually tell you guys a weird thought that I had. I kind of wake up every morning with a really weird thought. Okay, let me rephrase that. I have a lot of weird thoughts every single day. And you know when I have the first weird thought? The second my stream of consciousness starts. So, what was today's weird thought? You know, it actually, I'm lying to you guys right now. It actually originated last night, but literally like a minute before I started recording, I was like, oh yeah, I should totally talk about that weird... It's weird. I'm trying not to allude to what I'm gonna say for some reason, as if anybody's watching this. I had a weird conflicting situation last night on my way back from the supermarket, actually, and I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was very peculiar, and I'm gonna tell you guys. So, I went to my local supermarket called Stop and Shop. I have no idea if that's a local thing. Am I doxing myself right now? No, it's an East Coast thing, I'm pretty sure. At least like a Northeast type of thing. So, I was getting hungry last night, and I was like, I'm going to go to Stop and Shop. I have to get my veggie burgers anyway. Yes, I eat veggie burgers. They're actually not bad. They're also chicken patty burgers, so I think I like them because they're, fried. You could literally fry a boot, and I think I would eat it. So, I went to go pick up my veggie burgers, and I also picked up chocolate-covered pretzels. And while I was there, I had this weird thought. I was like, oh yeah, I hate the floss that we have at our house. I'm gonna do literally the most adult thing I've ever done in my 3 years of being an adult. And I bought dental floss. I bought mint-flavored dental floss. While I was also buying, legitimately, chocolate-covered pretzels. And I thought that was so weird. I'm like, why did I go to the supermarket, for one thing, and leave with 2 things, along with this one thing I originally wanted to get, that are incredibly contradictory to each other? I get home, I eat the whole bag of chocolate-covered pretzels. Not much more of a character development there. I just ate them. I'm actually looking at the bag right now. It's actually in my garbage right next to my studio. But I ate the chocolate-covered pretzels, and then I was like, oh, great. I also got this dental floss, so I can get them out of my teeth. So I go and floss, And I don't know, it was weird. You know, it was like a weird type of dental floss too. When I don't know if this is normal. I never really flossed like all that much as a kid. So as I became an adult, I started to floss more. This is the first time I've ever been using dental floss where it actually splintered. Or maybe not splintered, maybe that's not the right word. It snapped in half. Not like it like snapped like you'd snap a rubber band, but right down the middle. So half of the strand of floss got stuck in my teeth. So I had to take another piece of floss and floss the floss out of my teeth. And I just feel like that's weird. Are my teeth too close together? Am I just not flossing right? Did I buy shitty dental floss? I don't know. I have no idea. What was I going to do? It was literally like midnight. Am I going to wake up my mom and say, Mom, I need some advice on floss? Like, no, that's absolutely ridiculous. So, the moral of the story here, before I get completely lost again talking about dental floss, is why the fuck did I go there to buy chocolate-covered pretzels, and then why did I instantly go to the floss? Am I trying to overwrite these dilemmas that I create for myself? Is the dilemma that, like, hey, I'm hungry. Instead of having something healthy, I'm going to have a bag of chocolate-covered pretzels. But don't worry. Don't worry, your little head. I bought dental floss. Like, was that supposed to overwrite that? I don't know. I don't know how the subconscious brain works. All I know is that I felt very compelled to buy dental floss. We literally had floss at home. We actually had 2 containers of floss. I didn't even know. And it was actually cinnamon flavored, which was actually pretty good. I also tried the other flosses. I did a little bit of like a floss sampler in my bathroom at midnight last night. And the worst floss was the one that I bought because it literally got stuck in my teeth. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say today. I'm not going to try to force out any further dialogue here. This is the podcast. A random thought I had. Let me know what you guys think. Did I try to overwrite the fact that I was making a bad food decision by buying dental floss? Was that actually a thought process I had? Or do you think it just so happened that I was shopping and it was just a fluke that I happened to buy something bad for my teeth and good for my teeth at the same time? I don't know. Quite honestly, I don't know. A random thought I had. Episode number 1. Crazy.